I mean, apart from that, we are encouraging that in campaigns, right? Instead of comparing departments, I mean, we have to now talk about our policies alone and rather promote unity, right? And then this one, we are being very strict on it because HESA has gone through a lot of up and down, right? I mean, to a point where the HESA president had to run with a mantra of unifying HESA. And if you look at how he ran his administration, the president is Dr. Pomesa Chumesi. If you look at how he ran his administration, everything was trying to forge unity between us because at that point there was a high level of disunity because of the politics that has infiltrated the system.
Of HESA, welcome back to the Youth Corner. I'm your lovely host, Emanuela Amasamson, and I have here with me Honorable Samuel Tampanga Wepeah. Hi, Samuel.
Hi,
how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm also good. So I think if I ask this, I'm asking a question on a lot of people's minds, right? So we'd like to know, how well do you think your administration is doing?
I mean, I'll give myself this year 9 or 10.
Okay.
Which is very high, of course.
Yes, very,
right?
very,
and then
very
I'm giving myself 9 because I have one more thing to do, and when I do that, I give myself 11 over 10.
Wow.
Right? Yes. So that is just it. That is just it. So 9.
Don't you say an 11 over 10 is way too confident?
Oh yeah, because we know what we have put in place. I mean, I always see that I don't see any other administration, I mean, who has beaten me. In which department can you talk about? Are you talking about academics? Are you talking about welfare? I mean, are you talking about projects? Like, which department would you talk about? Because, I mean, do I have to go deep down into some of these areas? You understand? Do I have to go deep down into some of these areas?
I can't just generalize it. So I think it would be better for you to give us details.
Yes. Yeah, you are causing me to boost, but I mean, always I see in terms of HESA, right? I feel what is fundamental to HESA is unity, very important. That is why I mean we are here today, actually. Then apart from that, my policies, the first one was academics. I mean, when I was preaching, I told the people of HESA that we have been watching Ninja Net, right? So now we have to make ourselves the Ninja Net. Academics was paramount, and I feel there's nobody in KNUST who has done more in academics more than me. I mean, even outside administration, a single person who has held more people, more students in academics, you cannot beat me. You cannot beat me because of the number of courses I teach. Personally, I can teach every course I have learned before. But here is the case, I am teaching courses I have never learned before, right? I mean, coming up, I have decided to teach only chemistry outside pharmacy. But in pharmacy, I teach more, right? But even as I teach pharmacology, I mean, and every other course, you understand. Now I teach pharmacy 1, pharmacy 2, pharmacy 3, pharmacy 4, and I teach all the chemistries. And I don't teach one topic. I can teach all the topics. You understand? I do that for first sem, second sem. And because most courses are repeated between pharmacy and herbal medicine, I also teach herbal medicine. You understand? And then I will teach veterinary medicine. I remember I was teaching them pharmacology last year, and then I was teaching the first year's chemistry, BMC. So I teach BMC to PA, I teach to medical school, and then I teach veterinary medicine level 100 BMC. And I teach biological chemistry, I teach nursing, midwifery, medilab. Wow. You understand? And I don't teach one topic, I teach all the topics. Right, so I don't know. And then I see if I am doing that, I am also an agenda boy. I started doing agenda from second year, right? And then I am also in pharmacy 5. Pharmacy is, I mean, arguably one of the most difficult programs on campus. So who has done more than me? Who can combine teaching people as many as I do? I teach over 8 departments, right? Wow. And I teach them full courses. I don't teach them one topic, full courses, right? And I do that. I mean, so the number of people, in terms of the number of people a single person can teach, the number of departments a single person teaches, right? And the number of topics or subjects, I mean courses in our context, that a single person, I don't think anybody can beat me. Now when we come to administration, the videos we did, because we said that now because of flexibility, right? Flexibility, you want to increase the flexibility of the material. because we don't all have the same rate of understanding.
Yeah.
So we'll do videos just like we have in internet, right?
Yeah.
So that you can pause, go forward, and go backwards, right? So we have done videos, and then just last semester I released the videos a week to the end of sem, and the videos have accumulated about 6,000 views on YouTube, right? Yes, which is more than all the first years we have. You understand? So
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at that, I don't know any academic initiative which is better than the e-videos in our time, right? That is the most impactful. If you look at how we handled the research, it is only our time that we did 2 research. We did one online and then we did one in person. And anybody who came to my chemistry class passed. It was only the one that I supervised, which I didn't take directly, that we had some few cream, but still over 80% pass. And so I don't know who has done more than me in academics, because right from the True Support Scheme, the Rebound Initiative, to the videos we have done, to my personal achievement when it comes to academics, because I do all the rounds, go for all the meetings and come and teach. I'm the only agenda boy who don't employ other people. I teach myself. You cannot beat me.
At this rate, I think we can call you a senior lecturer.
No, nobody can beat me when it comes to that. And that's easy. I have been teaching. I have students who have completed law. You understand? So my work as a teacher, that's why I say you cannot question my academic department, because you cannot do more. You, the person talking, you cannot do more, right?
Yeah.
You cannot do more. You'll be intimidated. You'll be intimidated. Right? Yes, you can only be intimidated by me, right? And you can do as much as I've done. You cannot do more. How many more would you teach? 20 departments? No, you cannot do more. That's it.
Okay, so when, whilst talking, you mentioned a bill, right?
Yeah.
So, what is this bill you keep going on and on about? I mean, we've been seeing publicity and all that, but then we don't know what this bill is. So, can you please throw more light on it?
Okay, so I think that when it comes from the senators, it's a bill, but right now that I'm sitting here talking about it, then it's a law, right? And maybe we'll talk about the process later. But what we are talking about now is the unity law, right? And then it's a very simple law actually, which re-echoes the idea that the fundamental of the association is unity. And I feel every association should have a culture, right? The culture is how it's the way of life, you understand? So it guides us, about how we do our things from, that time the culture is established. From the olden days, we use stories to transmit culture, right? So we'll sit around fire and then we'll talk about stories and then it will transmit the culture. In our modern time, we document, right? And so when I came to HESA, it was very surprising that even though that the motto of the association will explicitly talk about unity, when you look at the articles in the Constitution, there's nothing about unity. We have not clearly defined our unity. So that was a constitutional gap that I had to fill. You understand? Now, if you look at the history from 2017, how HESA was formed, it was formed for us to have a united front, to unite us. If you look at how the health sector is, how we have the healthcare team working together with every single health professional being proportionally important, right? Then we have to talk about unity. So it's a bill it's a law to define our unity, what we stand for as health students and potential health workers. Very simple, right? Some details of the bill, if I'm supposed to go into, is saying that it states emphatically that the foundation of the association is unity, which is clearly stated in the motto, right? And I was saying that every administration, no matter the mantra you brought to office, you have to adapt a unifying mantra, like a unified HESA. So if you look at me, I came to the office with a motto, let's make a statement, right? But when I came, I adapted another one, a unified HESA, because under all the policies I said, I had a unifying message and I had to re-echo that. And that is what we are preaching for other administration to do as a law, right? Apart from that, we are encouraging that in campaigns, right? Instead of comparing departments, we have to now talk about our policies alone and rather promote unity, right? And then this one, we are being very strict on it because HESA has gone through a lot of up and down, right? To a point where the said HESA president had to run with a mantra of unifying HESA. And if you look at how he ran his administration, the president is Dr. Pomesa Chumesi. If you look at how he ran his administration, everything was trying to forge unity between us, because at that point there was a high level of disunity because of the politics that has infiltrated the system. It has blinded us that from the fact that we're single person, we're one people. You understand? So that is where we are. We are saying that during agenda time, people should talk about their policies and rather encourage the people of HESA to look beyond the departmental barrier and then look at themselves as one. And then we are very stern on this. We are saying that if you go against that, you'll be disqualified. And the only person that holds the power to overturn that decision is the provost. But I'm telling you, the provost understand the health sector than me and you, and will not make anybody who is bringing disunity in HESA, lead any HESA people. Right, so that's it. So these are like the key features of the law that we are talking about now. Just to unify us, just to stress on our culture, right? As people, as unifying, health students. Very simple, very simple.
That's quite impressive, very detailed, I must say. So, what was the process for the bill's introduction and the passage through the Senate, the student Senate?
Alright, so before we came into office officially, I was preaching unity, but that time people didn't believe me because I was doing an agenda. So what if he's talking about unity just because he wants to be president? There was something there. So when I came, and then that time we're still preaching the unity. I remember my GC now, his lordship, Ali Besiama was one of the people really pushing, and then Richard Dasi to him, right honorable now, was also pushing at allied side, right, and then. When we came into office, what we came was a proposal, because my whole team was in sync with that idea, the unifying of HESA, right? So we came with a proposal, right? So the proposal was written by the speaker, right? Yes, the Senate speaker now. So she proposed it to the House, and the House deliberated on it, right? So after the House deliberated and then accepted the proposal, now it was passed into a bill. Right, and then usually when the bill is passed like that, it will come through my hand as the president, and then I will sign it, and then it will turn into a law as we have it now. Yes.
Okay.
But then, if I'm supposed to tell you a funny side, the bill was actually two. We had that part that I narrated, and we had an anthem. I think we had an anthem for HESA. Why would I sit down and make an anthem for HESA? Because I didn't come just to bring advancement. It is primary. When you come into the office, the welfare of your people is primary, you understand? But I feel you don't have to make the people forget who they are. And I told you in the olden days we're looking at storytelling, right? But in this recent time, we don't really tell stories. I have a personal story that I used to narrate. The people of HESA, how they should be united. But I felt in the context of an association, an anthem which will be played during any official gathering would remind the people of HESA what they stand for during any time, any official gathering. So we proposed it, but it had a problem. So the senators referred us to go and then.
I was thinking of letting you sing a few lines for us.
No.
So sung by the president.
I would have been the first person to sing the anthem, right? But it's something that I've told the editorial board to work on. Again, I'm hoping it comes out so that we have to constantly talk about culture. That's one thing I feel the other people were not, the other leaders before me were not doing. They were focused on the welfare, which is good, primarily, as I am doing. But we have to also see that the association itself is improving. That the people of HESA don't lose their identity, you understand? And then for an association that has a strong culture, there should be a medium for us to convey the message from the older generation to the new generation. And I thought the anthem would be good, right? So we that is why we wrote the anthem. I'm sure if we bring it out, and then the senators approve, it will be a very beautiful one. But that is about it.
Since you did not refuse to sing the anthem for us. The anthem.
It is not official, so we don't really have an anthem, but yes.
Yes, the anthem. So we are going to move on to the next question. So, were there any notable debates, amendments or opposition during the legislative process?
Alright, so during the process, I feel that the senators wanted specific. They wanted instances to better put it in the context, you understand? And so we had to open up a lot of context for them to understand, right? The only thing that came, that's what I've already mentioned, was about the controversy was about the anthem, right? Because they felt, the anthem had an issue. One of them claimed that it was done by AI. Right? It's only a claim because there was no, you cannot really pinpoint that it was done, but claim it was written by AI.
We would be able to tell a human's writing from
But you know,
AI
some
writing.
people,
So
some people are as good as AIs. You understand? I think human being is intelligent, more intelligent than AI.
I refuse.
I mean, we don't have as many information as they have, but some people write smart. And so it was one of those instances where, I mean, someone was very smart, so smart that they compare the person to an AI.
I doubt.
They also doubted that. So yeah.
There are certain arrangements, right? When a human is writing, there are certain arrangements of words that you'd like make. But then with an AI, it gives you professional, like written English, like to me.
But are you saying that nobody can write like AI? I mean, we have people who can even ask.
I mean,
like
people
AI.
are smart, but then not that smart.
But you know, in the health, you see, I always say this, that in the healthcare sector, we hold the smartest people. I mean,
yes,
the
smartest, but not to that standard.
You've not met someone
that
you see. You've not met the one who wrote. I mean, who wrote the anthem for us? You understand? That is why we are saying it. But I mean, I told them that. I mean, there's no way you can pinpoint an AI. If you are looking at how professional it is, trust me, there are lots of professional people around, right? Myself inclusive, right? So if you are looking at more professional, but what really got the anthem rejected was it wasn't exactly representative of all the departments. So we had some departments which were merged. They didn't really show, right? So you see, every department had to be mentioned, so that now we know that if we are talking about HESA, we're talking about the culture of HESA, we remind ourselves that we are not just one people. It's not just medicine, pharmacy, nursing. It's more of, I mean, everybody, the 10 departments all together. You understand? So that representation missing was the key reason why it was rejected.
Right? Or maybe it wasn't catchy. I mean, something you cannot sing for us.
No,
I
cannot sing because it is not official.
It's not official. Give us 1 or 2 lines. I mean,
no,
you've not reviewed everything to us. You've just reviewed a little bit.
I
mean, we are very curious.
So anticipate.
Please, aren't we?
Anticipate, right? Anticipate. This one, anticipate.
Alright.
Since
you have confidently refused us, what are the statements or comments? What statements or comments has the HESA president made? I mean, you made regarding the bill's significance and expected impact.
Alright, so I mean, I feel, even though I think some of these things are secondary to the welfare of the people, because the welfare of the people matter, I feel they are also very critical to our practice as health professionals. So I see it's all important, right? Very important. I mean, I cannot say beyond that. Very important, very, very, because of how the health sector is, right? And then if you are looking at the impact, see, what we are saying is that every administration, agenda board, or any official should preach unity. If unity is on our tongue and then we spread it as much as possible, what we are looking at is in the next future we have health professionals and health students who collaborate more, right? I mean, more collaboration, which will bring a lot of harmony in the health sector. And then when we work in a harmonious environment, we get the best patient outcome, which is the reason why the health sector was formed in the first place, or the health sector, the main reason for the health sector.
From taking from what you've been saying from the beginning, right? So the plan is to make sure everybody is unified. We work together as a team, not basically taking one department over the other. Everyone should be equal.
Yeah. Very important. Everyone is important. That thing should be said over and over again. See, I've not sat anywhere and said that. I mean, in the medical team, the head of the medical team is the doctor. I see it everywhere, right? But I also argue that the health sector is like the body, the human body, right? Every part is important. You see, your brain needs glucose and everything, right? It needs food, right? I mean, for you to get food, sometimes it's your hand that will take the food into your mouth. If your brain is working and you cut your hand off, you might not be able to eat. You understand? If you have to walk and then you have to perform that function, it is your leg. Your brain will control it, but your legs are important. So, I mean, I see we have different roles that we play, which are all important to the survival of the human body, just like the parts of our body do, right? And so it is high time we give each other the recognition and we come together, knowing our professional differences. We understand that we need to work together before we get the best vision out. That's all I see. That's all I see. I mean, very simple. That's all I see.
Please people take notes, incoming lecturer.
That's all I see. That's all I see.
Okay, so how will the unity bill affect the daily operations and governance of HESA?
Alright, so the daily operations. Now, we are just saying the people of HESA should be more united.
Yeah.
Now, we should talk about it, we should preach it, we should wear it, most important, we should wear it, like I'm wearing my emotion now, right? We should wear it. I mean, if that happens, I think the departmental barrier will lessen, right? The nursing student can collaborate more with the medical student, same as the nursing student with the pharmacy student, you understand? Like, the collaboration will increase, that is the effect, right? And then in the long run, I mean, how the administration, I feel now would have a lot of departmental collaboration, right? Departmental collaboration. And then HESA would just be a very nice place to be, right? Just uniting all of us, that's all. Very simple.
But I think one thing is, anytime there's a bill or law put in place, you don't get everyone to follow suit like accordingly, like to your preference. So there, I can say that I'm not confident about it, but then, if not for anything, there are people, especially our students' heads, that would not follow suit accordingly because they feel that this bill doesn't really make sense to them or should involve more than what it is actually involved with now. What do you have to say about that?
So thank you very much. If they say it should involve more, it means they are adding on. Fine, I have no problem with you adding on the unity. If you don't, think it is right, because you see, it's not only my will. You understand? It has gone through. Now it has gone through the senators. It means every department president or most department president are in sync with the idea, right? Are in sync with the idea. Personally, I feel if you are a leader in the health sector and you are not after the unity of the health sector, you don't have to be a leader. You don't deserve to be a leader in the health sector. That is, you don't have a lot of experience or knowledge when it comes to how you even work in the hospital, or you are not really after the best patient outcome, or you think you can single-handedly handle the health professional, which you cannot. There's no single health professional who can solely handle the health sector. You cannot. You understand? Right? Because if you take me, the pharmacist, out, I am the expert in drugs. There's nobody who knows more about drugs than me, right? Now, if you take the Medilab, who does the blood test, right? You cannot take them out because we are doing evidence-based prescribing. How would you get the evidence? How would you take the medical imaging professional out? How would you get the evidence for prescription? You cannot get the evidence to even settle on diagnosis. So you cannot take anybody out. So if you have a knowledge like this, I don't think you will go against the unity bill, right? And if you don't have a knowledge like that, I don't think you have to lead the health students because you don't even know about the health sector in the first place. And then the issue with continuity, the reason why, even after what the HESA president did, there's still a potential of a relapse because, realistically, not everybody will fall in line, you understand? If you want something to continue, then it should be a law. That is why it has gone through all these bureaucracies and now it is a law. A law means everybody should follow, you understand? Yeah. Now we are looking at the next phase of adding to the constitution. Actually, it will become Article 1, right? And so it becomes indispensable. The idea is that we can always amend the constitution. But if, we are supposed to amend the constitution in future because the leaders don't think, like we did, that we should be united, then they will have to engage the whole people of HESA and then their senators. And if they are approved, then so be it. But I don't think we'll get to that point.
Okay, so what are the immediate actions or changes that will take place following the bill's enactment?
So, because of the period we are in, first of all, it affects how the agenda is run. I've seen a lot of agenda, gimmicks that I don't like. I feel we don't have to allow political people to lead HESA again. They don't help the association. They just look at interest, where the interests are like. They are not really so they don't mind putting departments against each other just for them to win the election. You understand? And I feel we don't have to do that. So now with the enactment of this bill, we are looking at a different way of conducting elections, right? Campaign, where the participants or aspirants will not compare departments or where the people of HESA will not look at people because of their departmental barrier, but will look at them because of their policies and hold them by their policies. And I have been to a lot of class to educate them that let's vote for our leaders because of their policies, because it is only in that case that we can hold them accountable. If it's any other reason but the policy, we might not be able to hold them accountable. So now we are looking at both the agenda but preaching unity as part of their message, whilst conveying their policies, right? Very simple. And then when they do that, and hopefully they come into administration and they come and continue the unity preaching, and it goes on for a long time. I think in a long time we'll have the harmonious HESA and then the unified HESA that we are looking out for.
Alright, I think that is all for today. Thank you very much for honoring my invitation.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
As you've all heard from the horse's own mouth, you've heard what the Unity Bill is about, who authored it, what motivated it, the impact it's going to have. Well, I think I don't have to say much, but then all what we are trying to drive at is that the Unity Bill is supposed to unify all of us. We are supposed to be equal in the association. So thank you very much for listening and vote wisely. Okay, have a nice day. Bye.